Gordian I, born Marcus Antonius Gordianus in approximately 159 CE, was a Roman emperor who briefly reigned during the turbulent year of 238 CE. His reign was part of the period known as the Crisis of the 3rd Century, marked by political instability, military challenges, and economic turmoil. Although his time as emperor was short, Gordian I's rise to power and his subsequent death provide important insights into the challenges faced by the Roman Empire during this era. Gordian I belonged to a wealthy and influential family in the Roman Empire, although his exact origins are somewhat unclear. He was born in the early 1600s CE, most likely in a Roman province, as his family held positions of power. His father, Antonius, was a high-ranking official in the Roman government, while his grandfather, also named Gordian, had been a consul, an important position in the Roman political system. Gordian I himself was well-educated and gained experience in various administrative roles, making him a respected member of the elite. The political situation in the Roman Empire during the early 3rd century was volatile. The empire had been struggling with a series of military defeats, financial crises, and ineffective leadership. In 238 CE, the situation worsened under the reign of the emperor Maximinus Thrax. Maximinus had come to power in 235 CE, but his reign was characterized by cruelty, harsh taxation, and a lack of popular support. This led to widespread dissatisfaction among both the elite and the military. In Africa, a significant rebellion emerged against Maximinus's rule. A group of prominent senators, including Gordian I and his son Gordian II, who was also part of the rebellion, sought to take advantage of the growing unrest. The people of the province of Africa, particularly Carthage, supported this rebellion. They declared Gordian IV emperor in April 238 CE, largely as a response to the unpopularity of Maximinus and his regime. The decision to elevate Gordian I to the imperial throne was not one of military conquest or a full-scale uprising. Rather, it was a political maneuver spearheaded by local elites who hoped to replace the existing emperor with someone they believed could restore stability. Gordian I, being a respected member of the senatorial class, was seen as a figure who could unite the aristocracy and provide a more balanced and just rule. Upon his ascension, Gordian I, who was in his late 70s at the time, sought to solidify his authority. He was declared emperor by the Senate, and his son, Gordian II, was named his co-emperor. Together they took action to eliminate Maximinus's influence in the region. Gordian I and his son quickly received the support of many provinces in North Africa, and the news of their elevation to the throne spread across the empire. However, the support for Gordian I and his son was not unanimous, and their power was not secure. Maximinus Thrax, despite being unpopular in Rome, still had significant military support, and his forces were poised to challenge the rebels in Africa. Gordian I and Gordian II faced the daunting task of defending their claim to the throne, while simultaneously consolidating power within the empire. Unfortunately, the situation quickly deteriorated for the Gordians. Maximinus dispatched forces to Africa, led by his general, who defeated the forces of Gordian II. In the face of this military defeat, Gordian II was killed in battle. Upon hearing of his son's death, Gordian I, devastated by the loss, chose to commit suicide. He took his own life on April 12, 238 CE, only about 3 weeks after he had been proclaimed emperor. Following Gordian I's death, the rebellion in Africa collapsed. Maximinus Thrax's forces soon captured and executed many of the rebels who had supported the Gordian family. Maximinus, however, did not take the throne for long. Within months, his reign was also challenged, and the empire saw further instability. The Senate, which had initially declared the Gordians emperor, went on to select 2 new emperors, Pupienus and Balbinus, in an attempt to stabilize the situation. Although Gordian III's reign was brief and his death marked the end of his rule, his rise to power and the circumstances surrounding his short tenure as emperor reflect the broader context of the crisis of the 3rd century. His reign was part of a period in which the Roman Empire faced multiple challenges, including military crises, economic collapse, and a general breakdown of political authority. Gordian I's selection as emperor was symbolic of the dissatisfaction with the existing leadership, and his swift fall demonstrates the fragility of imperial power during this turbulent era. Despite his relatively short rule, Gordian I and his son's rise to power served as an example of senatorial resistance to imperial authority, and their brief reign has been remembered as a significant moment in Roman history. Though Gordian I did not have the opportunity to enact significant reforms or policies, his role in the broader context of Roman politics during the crisis period remains noteworthy. He represented the efforts of the senatorial class to reclaim power and maintain the stability of the empire, even if only for a brief moment. Gordian I's reign as Emperor of Rome was both short and tragic. His ascension to the throne was driven by a popular rebellion against the despotic rule of Maximinus Thrax, but Gordian I's inability to secure his position, coupled with the military defeat and subsequent death of his son, led to his own suicide. Although his rule lasted only a few weeks, it represented the deep political and military crisis facing the Roman Empire in the 3rd century CE. The events surrounding his brief reign underscore the instability of the period and the challenges the empire faced in maintaining a stable and effective government during the crisis of the 3rd century.